Hello, my dear students. My dear students, in this video, we are going to discuss about reported speech. So, dear students, we are going to start it. There are two ways of reporting the speech of a person. First method is we may report the actual word of the speaker, and the examples are given here. The boy said, "This is my school." I said to him, "What are you doing?" She said to me, "Please help me." And in these sentences, the actual words of the speaker are given within inverted commas without any change. मीन्स आपको इन सेंटेंसेस में दिख रहा होगा कि जो ये एक्चुअल वर्ड्स हैं मीन्स स्पीकर जो कहना चाह रहा है दीज आर गिवन इन द इन्वर्टेड कॉमास एंड देयर इज नो चेंज इन इट एंड दिस वे ऑफ रिपोर्टिंग द एग्जैक्ट वर्ड ऑफ द स्पीकर इज कॉल्ड डायरेक्ट स्पीच और वी मे कॉल इट डायरेक्ट नरेशन. Secondly, the second method, we may report the substance of the speaker words and not the exact words spoken by him. तो इस केस में क्या होता है कि हम जो है स्पीकर के वर्ड्स का कुछ एक सब्सटेंस इसमें रिपोर्ट करते हैं ना कि एक्चुअल जो वर्ड्स होते हैं उनको. Here the examples are given. The boy says that is his school. He told me that he was not well that day. I asked him what he was doing. She requested me to help her. So, in these substances, the actual words of the speaker have not been reported, only the substance of the speaker words is given. This way of reporting the words of a speaker is called indirect speech or the indirect narration. Right? Now I am coming to the reporting verb and reporting speech. You can see here, look at the sentences. Mohan says, "I will go to Delhi tomorrow." Sohan said to the speaker, "Please give me a packet of blades." "Have you any news from my family?" asked the trader. "I do not deceive my friend," replied Arun. "May God pardon the sinner," said he. So the verb usually say or said, which generally comes before the inverted comma, right? And it is a part outside the inverted commas. This is called reporting verb. In the above sentences, says, said, asked, replied, said. These are the reporting verb, right? In our second point, you may read the part within inverted commas or the exact word of the speaker are given within the inverted comma. This is called your reporting speech. You can see this is the reporting speech which is given in the inverted comma. Like the lines which I have underlined, these are your reported speech. Now see, remember the following points about direct speech. Here are few rules are given. The actual words of the speaker are put within inverted commas. The reported speech is separated from the reporting verb by a comma, and the first word of reported speech begin with a capital letter. These are few rules which we have to keep in our mind while doing direct speech into indirect speech. Now see, remember the following points about indirect speech. No inverted commas are used. The comma separating the reporting verb from the reported speech is removed. The reported speech is introduced by some conjunction like that, if, what, why, etc. And the reporting verb changes according to the tense, and the tense of reporting verb is never changed. You have to keep in mind very carefully that reporting verb changes according to the tense, and the tense of reporting verb is never changed. So you will be very clear after seeing full video. You will get the full information about it. Now see, the marks of punctuation other than full stop are removed. There is no sign of interrogation or exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. And the reported speech is changed into assertive sentences. Now conversion from direct to indirect speech. Then we change direct into indirect speech. Pronouns, words indicated nearness and tenses of the verbs in the direct speech undergo some changes. Here the rules for the change of tenses. Rule number 1 here. You may see here rule number 1. If the reporting verb is in the present or future tense. Dear students, you all know that which is your reporting verb. Here says which I am underlining. These are your reporting verbs. So if the reporting verb is in the present or the future tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech is not changed. Right? For example, he says Mohan kills a snake. So says is in your present tense. So the tense of the verb in the reported speech will not change. Mohan kills a snake. Mohan kills a snake. But we will add conjunction here that for dropping the inverted commas. Now you may see the second sentence also. He says Mohan killed a snake. He says that Mohan killed a snake. He says Mohan will kill a snake. He says that Mohan will kill a snake. He will say Shashi is never late. He will say that Shashi is never late. He will say Shashi was never late. He will say that Shashi was never late. He will say Shashi will never be late. He will say that Shashi will never be late. So dear student, in this rule number 1, it is very clear in the given sentences that if the reporting verb is given in the present or the future tense, then the tense of the verb in the reported speech is not changed. Now I'm coming to your rule number 2. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, if your reporting verb is in the past tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech is changed into corresponding past tense as under. Right? You can see here present indefinite is changed into past indefinite. For example, I write. It will change into I wrote. If your reporting verb is in the past tense, then the tense of the verb in the reported speech will change into corresponding past tense. This rule you have to be keep in your mind. Present continuous will change into past continuous. I am writing. I was writing. Present perfect will change into past perfect. I have written. I had written. And in the fourth rule, you may see present perfect continuous will change into past perfect continuous. I have been writing. I had been writing. Past indefinite is changed into past perfect tense. I wrote. I had written. The past continuous is changed into past perfect continuous. I was writing. It will change into I had been writing. And the past perfect and past perfect continuous will remain unchanged. In the future tenses, for example, I will write. It is changed into the conditional. I would write. Okay? Now, here you can see the special note is given. The future tense of the reported speech is changed into comparatively simple way. Will is changed into would, shall is changed into should or would, right? Table of corresponding past forms of the verb. Here you can see this. After that, there are few exceptions to the above rules. If the reported speech expresses universal truth or habitual fact, means आपकी जो reported speech है which is given in the inverted comma, if it expresses a universal truth or any habitual fact, then the verb in it does not change according to the tense of the reporting verb. Right? For example, he said God is everywhere. He said that God is everywhere. Right? This is an exceptional rule. The teacher said earth moves around the sun, and the teacher said that the earth moves around the sun. 2 and 2 makes 4. These are few universal truth or the habitual fact. Light travels in a straight line. I am an early bird. Anju is a talkative girl. The Hindu burns their dead. So these are few examples of universal truth or the habitual fact in which your reported speech will the tense of the reporting verb and the reporting speech will not change. Okay. Now see the second exceptional rule. The past indefinite tense remains unchanged if the reported speech states a past historical fact. For example, you said, I live in Shimla for 10 years. He said that you lived in Shimla for 10 years. He said India became free on 15th August 1947. He said that India became free on 15th August 1947. Now I'm coming to my third rule. If the reported speech states two actions that took place at the same time, right? If the reported speech states two actions that took place at the same time, the past indefinite or the continuous tense in it is not changed. For example, he said Mohan was reading a novel while Sohan was playing cards. Okay? Both the actions are taking place at the same time. So while changing direct into indirect, he said that Mohan was reading a novel while Sohan was playing cards. Now another example, he said students were making a noise when the teacher entered the room. He said that the students were making a noise when the teacher entered the room. Now see, if the reported speech states an improbable or hypothetical condition, the past indefinite tense remains unchanged. If the reported speech states hypothetical condition, the past indefinite tense remains unchanged. For example, he said to me, if you were present there, you would weep. He told me that if I were present there, I would weep. He said, if I were a king, I would build another Taj Mahal. He said that if he were a king, he would build another Taj Mahal. Okay. Now, you may see here sentences with the must, can, and need not. In ordinary speech, must has three possible meanings. Can and need not sometimes behave in a similar way. Sometimes must show necessity or compulsion at the moment of speaking. It is then a case of true present and is changed into past tense when reported. Here examples are given. I said to my friend, I must go now. I told my friend that I had to go then. No will change into then. He said to me, you need not go. He told me that I did not have to go. Okay. Sometimes must indicate necessity or compulsion in future as a substitute for shall or have to. This is like future tense, and must is to be changed into would have to. I said to my father, I must leave for Delhi next week. I told my father that I would have to leave for Delhi next week. He said to his teacher, I need not go to Delhi next week. Then he said to his teacher, I need not go to Delhi next week. Sometimes must indicate permanent ruling or prohibition. In these cases, must remain unchanged. For example, master said to the servant, you must be punctual. The master told the servant that he must be punctual. Right? Notice, passengers must not lean out of the window. The notice said